And for the 26th time, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will race here on the mile-and-a-half Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada. 38 cars are lined up on pit lane getting ready for a 48-lap race this afternoon in the Board Gaming 300, race number 2 of the 2020 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. It is a picture-perfect day for racing with clear skies, no chance of rain, and a hot, slick racetrack, which will provide us some fantastic racing here this afternoon. Hello everyone, I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth, here to deliver you live coverage of race number 2 of the 2020 campaign for the series. And we're coming off an exciting run, an exciting Cinderella story last weekend at Daytona. Last week we saw Ryan Sieg driving his family-owned number 39 Chevrolet in a victory lane for the first time in his career, locking him into the 16-driver playoff for 2020. That win gave him a full-time sponsor in CMR Roofing, which will be the sponsor full-time on that number 39 car in the remaining 32 events here in 2020. All because of that one win. Today he will roll off from the 10th position. Last night, former Truck Series champ Brett Moffitt stole the show with his second consecutive Truck Series win, opening the season with back-to-back victories in the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoor Truck Series. Tomorrow, the fun doesn't stop, though, because tomorrow we will have the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. We have a lot of stories here for you this afternoon, but let's take it down trackside for opening ceremonies.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks.
Drivers, start your engines!
And now, before the cars can roll off pit lane behind the pace car, let's take a look at our Xfinity Series starting lineup here in the Board Gaming 300. Row number 1, it is sophomore driver Noah Gregson with his first career pole award. Posted the fastest lap in qualifying earlier this afternoon. On his outside, Christopher Bell in the 54, the most winningest Xfinity Series driver in the past 2 years, making his season debut. Row 2 has Ross Chastain, a former Las Vegas winner, and Justin Allgaier looking for his first Vegas win. Row 3, Chase Briscoe with new sponsorship from Production Alliance, and Mike Lynette coming off a top 5 run last week at Daytona. Row 4 is Brandon Jones, last week's pole center, and Austin Cindric in the Menards 22. Row number 5 is Harrison Burton, last week's coming off a 38th place finish at Daytona, and the man who won last week, Ryan Sieg, to his outside. Row 6 is a couple of Chevrolet drivers with Justin Haley and Myatt Snyder. Row 7, Brandon Brown with another impressive qualifying run, and Daniel Hemmer carrying the Poppy Bank colors on board. Row 8, it is Jeremy Clements in the number 51 with rookie Riley Herbst in the 18. Row 9, it is a couple of teammates from JD Motorsports, Stephen Light in the 4, and Jesse Little, the rookie, in the 0. Running out the top 20 on row 10, another JD Chevrolet, BJ McLeod in the 15, with last night's winner Brett Moffitt in the 02. And now the pace car will lead the field off for pit lane onto the track, leading the 38 cars this weekend. On row 11, Alex LeBay making his first start of 2020, next to Colin Garrett also making his first start at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Row number 12, Ray Black Jr. and Austin Hill, who won both stages last night in the truck race. Row 13, J.J. Yaley, one of our double-duty drivers, and Josh Williams making his first appearance in the 93. Row 14, Landon Castle in the number 89 with Chad Fincham, who failed to qualify last week at Daytona. Row 15 is Garrett Smithley making his first start of the year, driving for Bobby Dotter, and alongside Greg Gaulding making his first start of the year in the 90 for Mario Gosling. Row 16, it is Spencer Boyd in the 52 for Jimmy Means, next to rookie Joe Graff Jr. in the 01. Row 17, it is David Starr driving the number 38 this weekend for RSS Racing, alongside Matt Mills in the number 78. Row number 18, Tommy Joe Martins with former series champion Joe Nemechek driving the 47. And running out the field on row number 19, Vinnie Miller and Mike Harmon. They will round out the field of 38 competitors here at Las Vegas. Now let's take a look at the stage format for today's race at Las Vegas. The race will be divided up into 3 stages, which will be a total of 48 laps around this 1.5 mile track. Stage number 1 will be 12 laps, with stage number 2 also being 12 laps, allowing the final stage to be 24 laps, giving us a total of 48 laps of racing this afternoon. Noah Gragson is one of our sophomore drivers in 2020, and he had a pretty strong run last week at Daytona. First career pole for the number 9, Christopher Bell, making his first start of the year, making the first start for that 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is a 4th entry out of the JGR stable. This car will run part-time throughout the year with Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin, with the possibility of Eric Jones also being in that car along with Martin Truex Jr. We will find out more data as the year progresses. On row 2, Ross Chastain, his career pretty much changed here a couple of years ago with his first career win, and Justin Allgaier on his outside in the Klondike Bar Chevrolet. Tomorrow, the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series, but for right now, it is all about the Xfinity Series drivers, and here they come down in the restart zone, and we are underway in the Board Gaming 300. Noah Gragson gets a great jump on the field, and he will lead us off in the turn number 1. Not only did Noah Gragson get a pretty good start, but so did the inside line behind him with Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe going by that 54 of Christopher Bell. And now diving to the inside in turn number 3, here comes Chastain in the 10 for Colleague Racing, side by side with Noah Gragson as they come off turn number 4. And Briscoe gets his nose on the inside of the 10 of Chastain as they race down to turn number 1. Side by side, give the edge to Briscoe, but here comes Chastain coming off turn 2 on the outside. Still door to door. This is something we did not see a lot last night in the Truck Series race, where we saw it was so hard to pass. And Ryan Sieg smacks the wall, and Brandon Brown is through the grass off turn 4. Trouble already off turn number 4. We are still green, but the 86 of Brandon Brown, he is stuck on pit road, and we saw him backing up into his pit stop. So trouble for the 86 of Brandon Brown. But we're still side by side for the lead, but this time it's Chase Briscoe on the outside of Justin Allgaier on the inside, and here comes Brandon Jones now trying to get third away from Chastain. And behind them, that's the 20 of Harrison Burton. Christopher Bell has dropped all the way down here, almost outside the top 10 in that 54 car. And what we saw off turn 4 a lap and a half ago, Ryan Sieg got in the wall off turn 4, and we will try to get a replay at the end of this stage should we stay green. But what that has done is there is a big gap from Jeremy Clements in 12th all the way down to 13th place Ryan Sieg, and there is like this is like the second pack of cars down to 22nd place Josh Williams, and then we have another pack led by Austin Hill in 23rd place. Vinnie Miller, Joe Nemechek, Mike Harmon has some damage on the rear end of that 74 car. And there's Brandon Brown. He is still on pit road. And it looks like Brandon Brown right now is already 2 laps down to leader Justin Allgaier, who has now claimed the lead away from Chastain and Briscoe. And we are already halfway done here in stage number 1. It is still Justin Allgaier in command as we're side by side. Justin Haley now moving up inside the top 5. Help from the 54 of Christopher Bell. Daniel Hemrick now going on the inside of Noah Gragson. We talked about Christopher Bell falling back. So is the same story for the 9 of Noah Gragson. Early on, though, great run right now by Stephen Lai. He got a top 5 finish last week at Daytona, put some in the top 10 in points in that Johnny Davis number 4 car, having a strong run again here, running in 13th place right in front of a RCR car driven by Myatt Snyder. It is still Allgaier, Chastain, and Briscoe, and now Haley has taken fourth away from Brandon Jones. He's brought Austin Cindric along with him inside the top 5, and now second place Briscoe on the inside of Chastain for second off turn 4. And Brandon Brown is still on pit road. He's now 4 laps down, and we have a car down here in turn 1. That is Mike Harmon. He is very off the pace, and you see the rear end damage on that 74 car, and he's about 3 seconds slower, so we will catch Mike Harmon before this stage ends. And now Cindric went wide in turn 3, opened up the door for Brandon Jones and his teammate Christopher Bell, and now Daniel Hemrick now on the inside going by the 20 of Harrison Burton. And battle for the lead. Here comes Briscoe on the inside, can't make the pass, and here they come on the slower car of Mike Harmon, and look, oh, this is going to get in the way on the inside lane. Chastain may have to scoot him up the track a little bit if he wants to get by. He's going to be blocked in on the inside, and now his teammate will be at a disadvantage. Look at the speed of difference on the inside versus the outside lane. And there you see at the bottom of the screen, you saw Brandon Brown now leaving pit lane. He is now 7 laps down in that number 86. And Justin Haley, Christopher Bell, Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, among those getting held up by the 74 of Mike Harmon. But that was the white flag here in stage number 1. It is Justin Allgaier in front of Chase Briscoe. This is to battle to win stage number 1. Chastain on the outside of Brandon Jones. Looks like Jones can't make the pass. Now he's going to be under attack by Austin Cindric and Noah Gragson as they come off turn number 4. Down to the line, Justin Allgaier will win stage number 1 over Chase Briscoe. Ross Chastain will be 3rd. Brandon Jones and Noah Gragson will now be 4th, and they're showing Brandon Jones in 5th place. And Mike Harmon will get the free pass in the 74 car, and that will allow him to come down pit road. Brandon Brown is back on track, like we said, in the 86 car, but he is 7 laps down in the 86. So as we get set for stage number 2, let's take a look at the replay on what happened to Ryan Sieg off turn 4, which landed Brandon Brown in the pits. All right, let's take a look at the replay there. Here they are entering turn number 3. And Brandon Brown on the inside. Ryan Sieg is going to get into Michael Annett. Sieg goes up the track, slams the wall, and looks like the 51 of Clements could not get slowed down enough, and Brandon Brown gets turned by Jeremy Clements. And looks like he may actually, right there, just kind of weird on what happened to Brandon Brown there. Then he finally slams the outside wall with the driver's side door, and then proceeds to back up into his pit stall. But that was a tough break for Brandon Brown in the 86. He landed 7 laps down because of this crash off turn number 4. And like we said, it began with Ryan Sieg right there in the Michael Annett. Sieg slams the wall away. Myatt Snyder did a nice job not getting into the 39 when he was coming back down the track, or that would have been another big pileup off turn 4. And then here's Jesse. Oh, this is how this third pad got separated. The 15 of BJ McLeod ended up going onto the apron, came back up the track, and when he was merging, that slowed down Austin Hill. That's how these guys from 25th place on back got separated from the guys up here like Josh Williams and Ray Black Jr. But your leader will be Justin Allgaier and Chase Briscoe, your front row, and when we get set to go racing here in stage number 2, which is coming your way after the break. Okay, we are going green here this time, Bob, but we do have some breaking news on one of the drivers in the top 10. That is Alex LeBay in that 36. We did not even talk about that Alex LeBay, along with Jeremy Clements, got stage points in stage number 1, but unfortunately here in stage number 2, Alex LeBay has blown an engine, and he is coming down pit lane as soon as we're about to take the green flag here in the beginning of stage number 2. Justin Allgaier, Chase Briscoe, your front row, and we are back underway with 37 cars taking the green flag, as you probably can guess that the 36 of Alex LeBay is done for the afternoon for driving the 36 from Mario Gosselin. Allgaier was able to keep the lead away from Briscoe, but now here comes Chastain on the inside trying to take that lead away. Oh, Michael Linnett's off the pace, and he is coming to pit road. Michael Linnett. And we are hearing he has a flat left rear tire on the number 1 of Michael Linnett. He is bringing that Pilot Flying J down pit lane. And once again, the field has gotten separated. This time it's from about 9th place on back, led by Daniel Hemrick. But up front, it is Allgaier and Chastain side by side. Last time by, it was Chastain who led the first lap of the stage. And I believe once again it will be Chastain with the edge over Allgaier. Look at Allgaier trying to keep that momentum up on the outside lane. He stays alongside the number 10 of Chastain. Can he get the run down here in turn 3 to clear the number 10 of Chastain off turn 4? Behind them, Brandon Jones and Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, and Noah Gragson. 6 cars have broken away from the pack. And there they go in the turn 1, and right there, that's where we saw a lot of speed loss in the truck race on the inside down in turn number 1. It was very hard, almost impossible for anybody to make a pass on that inside, specifically more down in turn 1 and 2. It's so bumpy down in turn 1 and 2, you lose grip, and you just cannot hold it on the inside, which gets the car on the outside a lot more speed, a lot more momentum as they come off the corner. Jeremy Clements had broken away from that mess from behind. He is now 7th. Daniel Hemrick, Brett Moffitt, and Myatt Snyder, your top 10. Riley Herbst is 11th. Then you have a great run going right now by Jesse Little in 12th. Ryan Sieg, Colin Garrett, and Austin Hill, your top 15. And then it is Harrison Burton, Justin Haley, Stephen Light, Josh Williams, and Christopher Bell, your top 20. Joe Graff Jr. 21st, Garrett Smithley 22nd, BJ McLeod, Ray Black Jr., and Greg Gaulding, your top 25 at the moment. We can tell you that Alex LeBay is behind the wall. Michael Linnett right now is in 36th, 1 lap down. Brandon Brown is still 37th. He is 7 laps off the pace in the 86. But up front, it is Allgaier who is looking to win both stages here this afternoon. Chase Briscoe is in 2nd. Austin Cindric, Chastain, the first battle on track, is for 5th. That is Brandon Jones on the outside of Noah Gragson, who's trying to work his way back up here inside the top 5 in that number 9. And we are now coming to 5 to go here in stage 2, and we have a battle for lead now. Here comes Briscoe on the inside. Trying to take that lead, but he's on the inside down in turn 1 and 2. He hangs right there on the almost on the left rear corner panel on the 7, but down in turn 3, Allgaier able to clear that 98 of Briscoe. And there's Mike Harmon. Whatever problem he had in the first stage, they have gotten that car fixed because he's about 2 seconds quicker than he was in stage number 1. But we're coming to 3 to go this time by now with Justin Allgaier in the lead over Chase Briscoe. And Brandon Jones was able to hold off the 9 of Noah Gragson, now trying to mount a charge on the 10 of Chastain. Austin Hill going by the 0 of Jesse Little, bringing the 11 of Justin Haley along with him. Harrison Burton, Colin Garrett, Christopher Bell. I think a lot of guys, really all of us expected Christopher Bell to be probably the car to beat here this afternoon. Remember the playoff race we had here last fall? It was Christopher Bell who completely dominated the race, only to lose to win to Tyler Reddick on a field mileage race. Right now, Bell is 19th. He just got around Stephen Light to move him up to 18th place. And now you have Brett Moffitt, last night's winner, on the inside of Ryan Sieg. That race last night really was between these two guys, Brett Moffitt and Austin Hill. Right now, they're both having strong runs here inside the top 15. Ryan Sieg is 11th. Right now, first guy out of the top 10. Riley Herbst right now the last guy in the top 10, holding down where he would get stage points. But once again, you're really not missing anything up front. It is still Justin Allgaier in command, holding on to the lead over Chase Briscoe. Brandon Jones trying to take fourth away here off turn 4 at the end of the stage number 2. It will be Allgaier winning stage number 2. Briscoe and Cindric and Brandon Jones did take fourth away from Chastain right at the very last second off turn 4. This will be Chastain 5th, Gregson Clements, Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, and Ryan Sieg. Your top 10 here in stage number 2. And this caution will be a big break for Michael Annett. He will get back on the lead lap, giving us a total of 36 cars on the lead lap when we get set for the final stage here, coming your way in a moment. Going green now here in the final stage of the Board Gaming 300. 24 laps are left here at Las Vegas. And before we go green, let's take a look at where we will be next weekend. And that will be at the Auto Club Speedway for next week, race number 3 of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. As we continue the West Coast wing, we will leave here and be on our way to Fontana at the conclusion of this race. But for right now, it is Justin Allgaier and Chase Briscoe, your front row in the final 24 laps of the Board Gaming 300. And it is a great jump with the 7 and the 98 on the front row. The 22 of Austin Cindric did not get going there. And we can document that Mike Harmon did come down pit road before we went green. So trouble now for the 74 once again of Mike Harmon. As we come off turn 4, and we will now have a battle for lead. Here comes Briscoe on the inside, trying to take that lead away from Allgaier. It's been the 7 and the 98 almost all day long so far, and I believe Briscoe may have him here off turn 2 as Austin Cindric is now diving to the inside for second. Austin Cindric on the inside, Justin Allgaier on the outside, Chastain and Jeremy Clements in pursuit on the inside. And we got a crash off turn 4 hard on the outside wall. Flipping is the 11 of Justin Haley. And it is a tumbling down the track, and we have a huge pile up here off turn number 4. We have another car upside down. Is that Stephen Light? It is number 4 of Stephen Light on top of Michael Annett, who had just gotten the free pass under caution. Ray Black Jr. involved. There's the 4 Lights. Colin Garrett, Justin Haley, and that was while Mike Harmon was on pit road. Landon Castle involved. We have another car slow on the apron. That is Joe Nemechek, the 47. Looks like the 78 of Matt Mills. The 5 of Vinnie Miller got a piece of it. We see some damage on J.J. Yaley and Gray Gaulding. Chad Fincham has some severe front end damage on that 13 car. There's Joe Graff Jr. now coming down pit road. Christopher Bell involved. A huge crash off turn number 4, which we saw 2 cars tumbling down the front straightaway. And the flipping keeps on occurring. We saw it in the Daytona 500 with Matty Benedetto. We saw it in the truck race last night with Parker Kligerman and Danny Bone. And for the 3rd straight race, we have seen it now with Justin Haley and Stephen Light, which puts us in a caution for the first time of the afternoon. And it looks like a little bit of a 3 wide gone bad here off turn number 4. We're going to see some contact with the 11 of Justin Haley and the 54 of Christopher Bell. It's like Bell turns Haley down into Colin Garrett, and there they go, slamming the outside wall and nowhere to go for Stephen Light or Joe Graff Jr. And up in the air goes the 11 of Haley. And old Colin Garrett goes upside down. The 26 is tumbling down the straightaway as well. Matt Mills underneath the 11 of Haley. Spencer Boyd. I saw Jesse Little get a little bit of contact. There's McLeod goes spinning. Chad Fincham, they're still wrecking up ahead with Stephen Light. Ray Black Jr. Let's take another look at it. And that all started with Christopher Bell getting right in that one of the most sensitive part of the car, the left rear corner panel, and that sent the 11 down the track in the Colin Garrett, and as they continue to pile in, there's Michael Annette. Like we said, he had just gotten a free pass, and looks like he is going to be taking a pass to the garage, done for the afternoon. And Mike Harmon was on pit road. He was already 2 laps down when he was leaving pit lane under caution, so Mike Harmon will be getting 1 of those laps back. That will leave him 1 lap down. Brandon Brown also 7 laps down in the 86. But we will have a new leader here on the restart. Allgaier fell down to 4th place, but it'll be Chase Briscoe and his Ford teammate Austin Cindric on the front row. And now we are getting set for the restart with what will be 18 laps to go for Chase Briscoe. He has 2 career wins in the series. Same can be said for Austin Cindric and Ross Chastain. And Justin Allgaier has multiple wins in the series as well. Jeremy Clements rode America a couple of years ago. Brandon Jones got his first career win last October. And then you have a couple of guys who's never been to victory lane. Riley Herbst, Myatt Snyder, and Noah Gragson. But we're back underway here at Las Vegas with 18 laps to go. We have about 30 cars left in the race. Like we said, the 74 of Mike Harmon is 1 lap down. Brandon Brown is 7 laps down. But we have a lot of cars back here that are extremely damaged. And we'll see if they can, how fast they can go in these 18 laps. Allgaier hanging tough on the outside of Brandon Jones and even trying to get alongside the 10 of Chastain. And about to be 3 wide back here. That's Ryan Sieg in the middle, Daniel Hemrick on the inside, and Myatt Snyder on the outside. We saw him to turn number 1, and here comes Austin Cindric for the lead. Side by side, Briscoe and Cindric battling for the top spot, and it will be Briscoe who can prevail on the outside. He clears the 22, and now Chastain trying to take advantage of the 22 being off the pace just a little bit from being on the inside. Now you have Brandon Jones up in the 4th, and how about Riley Herbst? We have not talked about Riley Herbst all day long, and here he is trying to get him up, trying to get himself inside the top 5. And now already, as soon as I say that, here comes Jeremy Clements and Daniel Hemrick now trying to get around the 18 of Herbst. Ryan Sieg's back here with Gregson. There's Harrison Burton, Myatt Snyder, Brett Moffitt, Austin Hill, Josh Williams, and Jesse Little. They make up your top 15. Actually, now be the top 16. Then David Starr, Garrett Smithley, Greg Gaulding, and Tommy Joe Martin's your top 20. Clements have got around Riley Herbst. Now he's bringing Daniel Hemrick along with him in that number 8 car. And we're going to be 3 wide here. Look at Allgaier on the inside of Chastain and Brandon Jones. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I believe Allgaier may still have one of the fastest cars here. It's just, can he work his way up and get to the 98? Hemrick has cleared the melee from behind, which is a 3 wide battle with Ryan Sieg, Riley Herbst, and Jeremy Clements. There's Myatt Snyder on the inside with Harrison Burton. And Allgaier at the line. He will clear the 19, and he will take 4th away at the line. But it's still Cindric on the back of the 98 of Briscoe. Not side by side, but bumper to bumper down the straightaway, the 98 and the 22. From what we saw last night and what we've seen so far this afternoon, if you want to make a pass, the best passing zone is on the inside down in turn 3 and 4. But what I've seen a lot today is guys get a great run in turn 3 and 4, and like Chastain, he goes to the inside of Cindric, but Cindric keeps his foot in the throttle when he drives by the 10 of Chastain, and that opens up the door for Allgaier to get a run down here in turn 3. This is where you want to try to make a pass. That's Allgaier on the inside. Can he take advantage of the 10? He does. He will clear Chastain. And now Brandon Jones looks to his inside, but that may be pretty good news for Allgaier because he will be on the outside down here in turn 1. And right there, he drives around the 19 of Brandon Jones. Daniel Hemrick now working on the 10 of Chastain. But the top 2 trying to scoot away from 3rd place, Justin Allgaier, who is on the move now. He won 1st and 2nd stage. He's led about 21 laps so far. Austin Cindric, and here comes Cindric for the lead down here in turn number 1. Briscoe slides out the track a little bit, but he, once again, just keeps his foot in the throttle, and he will stay in front of the 22. And once again, Allgaier taking advantage of the car making a pass on the inside. He will now go to the inside in turn 3. Just something about turn 1 that is just allowing these guys on the outside to just hang on. And now we have Chastain. He's going to try to double down here in turn number 1. He goes to the inside, but Brandon Jones is with him. And you saw those two cars, their left side tires are on the apron down in turn number 1. That will completely kill your momentum if you do that. And that allows Allgaier to scoot away. We will have 8 laps to go now, this time by with Chase Briscoe and Justin Allgaier. Ross Chastain, Brandon Jones, and now Cindric falling down to 5th place in the 22. 3 wide back here, that's Ryan Sieg in the middle, Mike Snyder on the inside, there's Riley Herbst on the outside, Daniel Henry coming up through the middle. Noah Gregson started on the pole, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of speed out of Noah Gregson since. He's been around that 9th and 10th spot almost this entire race, but then again, it's been very hard to pass. As you see, Austin Hill goes by Brett Moffitt for 12th place. And we saw Jeremy Clements inside the top 10 for a while, even inside the top 5, and he's now drifted his way back to 14th place under attack from Josh Williams in the 93. Harrison Burton on the inside of Noah Gregson. This is for 10th spot. Then we'll bump Gregson down to 11th. Austin Cindric on the inside of Brandon Jones, and now Allgaier making that bold move to the inside in turn 1, but like we said, just so hard to make it happen. And Chastain, now the good news for Allgaier is Chastain followed him. That kept Chastain from getting a run on Allgaier to try to pounce and take second back away. And surprisingly, Chastain did not lose a spot in that mess from Cindric. And now Cindric goes to the inside of the 10 car, and Brandon Jones looking to make it 3 wide, but the 2 guys on the outside will get a nice run off the corner. Now, one interesting element that we have to pay attention to is lap down traffic. We saw that come into play a big time at stage number 1, and we could see that again here in the final 5 laps. We have up ahead of the leaders Landon Castle, Joe Graff Jr., Matt Mills, Mike Harmon, Vinnie Miller, Brandon Brown. Not sure they will catch all the way up to Brandon Brown. Maybe not Vinnie Miller, but these guys are more than likely going to catch Landon Castle at the speed they're going. With about 3 laps to go as we have a battle for second place. Cindric now trying to move his way back up to the front, the inside of Allgaier. That is for second on the track. And Chastain 4th, and Ryan Sieg now up here inside the top 5 in that 39 car, right in front of Brandon Jones in the 19. And Landon Castle was just under 2 seconds slower last time by, as we are going to go 2 laps to go. 2 laps left for Chase Briscoe. Can he hang on and win the Board Gaming 300? And it looks like Justin Allgaier's best chance to go to victory lane is if lap traffic will get in the way. Chastain, Cindric, and Sieg, your top 5. They're coming off turn number 4. And there's the lap cars of Castle and Graff. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go at Vegas. It's Briscoe, and here they come on the lap traffic, and Briscoe's going to get hit up by Castle. Here comes Allgaier on the outside. Justin Allgaier on the outside. Briscoe nearly turns Castle around. Allgaier to the lead. And this is what we were pretty much expecting. Briscoe falling back behind. He's still behind the 89 of Castle. But it's Allgaier who clears the mess. And at the line, it will be Justin Allgaier going to victory lane. He will win the Board Gaming 300 in an incredible last lap turn of events. It's Allgaier and Cindric first and second, with Chastain, Jones, and a horrible break for Briscoe. He will end up 5th in that 98 car. The first race with Production Alliance on the number 98. He nearly took him to victory lane, but he got held up at the worst spot of the track down there in turn 1 with the outside is so dominant. And Allgaier, who went to the outside in turn number 1, used that to his advantage. And right there, Briscoe got stuck behind Castle and Graff. Allgaier went high, so did Chastain and Cindric and everybody else. But I think the big break for Allgaier is he was able to get around Joe Graff at the same time. And here comes Cindric muscling his way through the middle, getting around Chastain. And that was the winning move for Justin Allgaier in the Klondike Chevrolet for Dale Jr. So Chevrolet will win the first 2 races here in 2020 with Ryan Sieg and now Justin Allgaier. He will lock himself a spot in the playoffs for 2020. One more time down here in turn number 3. Allgaier, and really at this point, we all knew Allgaier really had no chance because it's so hard to pass, but we knew that if an opportunity like this presented itself, that's really the only way we felt like somebody can get around the leader. And that was sure the case for Chase Briscoe and Landon Castle. Joe Graff Jr. Matt Mills was also back here. And Matt Mills did get lapped down by Allgaier right at the line. So Matt Mills will end 1 lap down, even though he was so close of not going to lap down. So that was the final lap and how the pass for the lead went about. As now we're going to take a look at the race results here. Justin Allgaier, well, already went through the top 5. A great run by Myatt Snyder, a career best run from Myatt Snyder. Ryan Sieg 7th. Back-to-back top 10s with a 39 car, not too shabby. Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, and Noah Gragson coming home with a top 10 run in the 9. 11th place is Riley Herbst, and running out your top dozen is Austin Hill in 12th place. Brett Moffitt will be in the next pace in 13th place. Josh Williams, a nice run, a really good run in that 93 car. Jeremy Clements. And then it's David Starr, Jesse Little, Garrett Smithley with a nice run. Tommy Joe Martins, and Greg Gaulding, your top 20. With Christopher Bell, your outside pole center, who never really had a shot, honestly. He will end up 24th. And as we take a look at the rest of the grid, or the rest of the results, you saw Matt Mills 1 lap down, Joe Graff and Lenny Castle 1 lap down. Mike Harmon ended up 1 lap down as well, and then Brandon Brown, we remember the problem he had in the stage number 1. He will end up 7 laps down. And the remaining drivers, beginning with Joe Nemechek, involved in that serious crash off turn 4, but luckily all drivers walked away. They were checked and released at the infield care center, and they are good to go. So even though we saw some trouble passing, this was still a very more competitive race than what we saw last night in the Truck Series race. You have to believe it was possibly because of the slick track we had, these hot temperatures. Great weather though all weekend long, and it certainly provided us a great race here in the Boyd Gaming 300. And that will conclude our broadcast from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we will turn our focus now to the NASCAR Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series tomorrow afternoon. And then we will have the ARCA Menards East Series from Pensacola, the Five Flag Speedway. And then we will go racing next Saturday at Auto Club here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So that is a look at the upcoming schedule here on March of 531. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us here for a fantastic race here in Viva Las Vegas. And we will see you tomorrow for the Cup Series Pennzoil 400 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Goodbye, everyone.